रोम रोम से निकले तेरे रोम रोम से निकले तेरे राम जपा कर राम जपा कर राम जपा कर राम जपा कर चंचल मन नित राम जपा कर चंचल मन नित राम जपा कर गहरा सागर टूटी नैया गहरा सागर टूटी नैया जीवन तरणी राम खेवैया जीवन तरणी राम खेवैया पार करेंगे राम जपा कर पार करेंगे राम जपा कर 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 चंचल मन नित राम जपा कर चंचल मन नित राम जपा कर सार तत्व की खोज किए जा सार तत्व की खोज किए जा प्रेम सरस रस रोज पिए जा प्रेम सरस रस रोज पिए जा पार करेंगे राम जपा कर पार करेंगे राम जपा कर 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 चंचल मन नित राम जपा कर चंचल मन नित राम जपा कर पल पल छिन छिन घड़ी घड़ी निस दिन पल पल छिन छिन घड़ी घड़ी निस दिन राम जपा कर राम जपा कर राम जपा कर राम जपा कर चंचल मन नित 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 राम जपा कर ॐ जं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्र रुद्रमरुतः स्तुवन्ति दिव्यैस्सर्वैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमो परिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुस्वराः स्मरणाः
ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः। अथ पञ्चदशोऽध्यायः। पुरुषोत्तमयोगः। श्रीभगवानुवाच ऊर्ध्वमूलमधः शाखम् अश्वत्थं प्राहुरव्ययम् छन्दांसि यस्य पर्णानि यस्तं वेद स वेदवित् अधश्चोर्ध्वं प्रसृतास्तस्य शाखाः गुणप्रवृद्धा विषयप्रवालाः अधश्च मूलान्यनुसन्ततानि कर्मानुबन्धीनि मनुष्यलोके न रूपमस्येह तथोपलभ्यते नान्तो न चादिर्न च सम्प्रतिष्ठा अश्वत्थमेनं सुविरूढमूलम् असङ्गशस्त्रेण दृढेन चित्वा ततः पदं तत्परिमार्गितव्यम् यस्मिन् गता न निवर्तन्ति भूयः तमेव चाद्यं पुरुषं प्रपद्ये यतः प्रवृत्तिः प्रसृता पुराणी निर्माणमोहाजितसङ्गदोषाः अध्यात्मनित्या विनिवृत्तकामाः द्वन्द्वैर्विमुक्ताः सुखदुःखसंज्ञैः गच्छन्त्यमूढाः परमव्ययं तत् न तद्भासयते सूर्यः शशाङ्को न पावकः यद्गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम. The chapter begins by describing what is bondage. So how have we landed in this world of transmigration? It is our own choice. We have chosen this world. We have chosen the happiness of this world, the pleasures of this world. Therefore we are in this world. So what is the mistake we have done? Sangha is the mistake. Attachment is the mistake. So whatever you seek in life, you get it. So we sought the world, so today we are in this world. So if we have to get liberated from this world, then you have to stop seeking the world. Stop seeking the pleasures of the world. So asanga shastrena dridhena chitva. But then, where should I turn to gain happiness? So, tatah padam tat parimargitavyam. Turn to your own self. The self is infinite bliss. That is the original bliss. That is original happiness. Turn towards that essence in you, that awareness in you, that consciousness in you, which is perfect, which is infinite, which is immortal, and train the mind to abide there. So what is the sadhana to be done? Tameva chadyam purusham prapadye. Approach that great truth in total humility, surrender, love, dedication, devotion. So our job is to efface this ego which is preventing us from knowing the Supreme Self. So then what happens when you do this sadhana, spiritual sadhana? Adhyatma nityaha. When you do this regular spiritual practice, so what happens? Nirmana happens. Slowly, slowly the ego dissolves. You come to know that it's an illusory entity. The pure consciousness is a reality. So then what happens? In your own heart you find your true essence, the Satchit Ananda Atma. There you find bliss, joy, perfection, knowledge, clarity. So then what happens? Nirmoha. You become free from all moha, delusion. So what is delusion? The external world is a source of happiness. This is delusion. So naturally what happens? You are able to access the perfection of the self. So therefore, how does it express itself? It expresses as contentment, joy, bliss, happiness. So then what happens? Jita Sangha Dosha. You become free from Sangha and Kama. You no longer desire the world. You are attached to the world. Attachment disappears, desires disappear. These are the expressions of spiritual progress. Then what happens? Naturally, Dvandvair Vimukta. You will be free from Dvandva, the pairs of opposites. The world will be full of ups and downs, joys and sorrows, praise and criticism, honor and dishonor. This is the nature of the world. You can't escape. But what you can escape? You can escape from getting affected from the pairs of opposites. So Dvandvair Vimukta doesn't mean that such an enlightened one will not have any, the ups and downs of life. No, he will be ups and downs only. He will be there. But internally he remains unaffected. Now this has to be clearly understood. Otherwise people say, no, Bhagavan, I pray so much, but still you have brought all tragedies to me. And tragedies will come. Just because you have studied some scriptures doesn't mean that problems will not come to you. Problems will keep coming, but now the difference is amidst tragedies, problems, calamities, your mind is at peace. Now this is the difference. Don't say that because I am spiritual, no problems should come. No, it will come. Maybe little more of it will come. Be prepared for it. But then, what is the difference? The difference is you have the strength to remain undisturbed. Spirituality gives you this inner strength to face the challenges of life. Dvandvair Vimuktaha Sukha Dukkha Sannyeni. So the external ups and downs will not affect you. So this is what we have to, pay attention to. So as we grow in spirituality, our mind remains peaceful amidst ups and downs of life. So Gacchantya Mudhaha Padam Avyayam Tata. So this is called reaching that state. So what is reaching that state? It is not some external travel. It is not that we have to travel to some world, some heaven, some Swarga, some Vaikuntha, some Kailasa. No, it is not external travel. It is a clear understanding about our own self. So Tat Padam, when it is said Tat, that, don't think that that means something. No. Generally, whenever we use the term that, unknowingly we assume some distance. This means something near. That means something far. So generally we tend to think that it is some spatial distance. No. So whenever we say that, in spirituality, that means what? Now I am not able to experience that. Right? It is not available for me. This is the meaning. Though I am the Supreme Self, though it is my true nature, I am not able to experience it. So that means what? Something I have to do to reach that state. So what is that to be done? A removal of ignorance, the removal of wrong notion has to be done. So this is a travel of knowledge. From ignorance, we are traveling towards knowledge. So it is all about unfolding ourselves and knowing our true nature. Right, up to this, we have in detail seen. Now the next topic is, what is the relation between Jiva and Ishvara, and how this jiva, the individual soul, travels in this samsara. Because the chapter began with samsara vriksha, isn't it? Traveling from one birth to another, it is going on. So, a little more information about this transmigration is indicated, and Bhagavan says how this jiva is also none other than Ishvara alone. The individual self is none other than Supreme Self. There is no difference between the individual and the Supreme. So this is the topic taken up. So let us chant verse number 7, 8 and 9. Mamevamsho jivaloke jivabhutas sanatanaha manashashthani indriyani prakritisthani karshati शरीरं यदवाप्नोति यच्चाप्युत्क्रामतीश्वरः गृहीत्वैतानि संयाति वायुर्गन्धानि वाशयात् श्रोत्रं चक्षुस्पर्शनं च रसनं घ्राणमेव च अधिष्ठाय मनश्चायं विषयानुपसेवते ममैवांशो जीवलोके शरीरं यदवाप्नोति यच्चाप्युत्क्रामतीश्वरः गृहीत्वैतानि संयाति वायुर्गन्धानि वाशयात् श्रोत्रं चक्षुस्पर्शनं च रसनं घ्राणमेव च अधिष्ठाय मनश्चायं विषयानुपसेवते. So now the topic is Jiva Vichar, analysis of who this individual soul is. So what does Bhagavan say? Mama eva amshah, my own aspect, part, my own essence. Mama eva amshah jiva bhutah. My own essence has become this jiva, this individual. All these living beings, they are my own essence. Where are they? Jiva loke, in this world of beings. So in this world of beings, all these living beings you are seeing, yes, they are my own essence. Who is saying? The Lord is saying. So therefore, what is their nature? Sanatanaha. Just like I am eternal, they are also eternal. So naturally a question may come, how can these living beings be eternal? In front of our eyes only they are dying. They have birth, they have death. How can you say they are eternal? So that topic is taken up. How these jivatmas are eternal. How we are all immortal beings. We are all deathless beings. So that topic is analyzed. So now here this Sanskrit is a little bit complicated. So now I am going to put them in an order. Okay? So now come to the second quarter of the 8th verse. Yachapi Utkramati Ishvaraha. Did you find it? Second quarter. Yes. So, Yat cha means Yada. When Ishvaraha Utkramati. Now what is being described is at the time of death, what happens? So God has to prove now what? There is no death. So therefore the analysis of death is taken up. Yada Ishvaraha Utkramati. Now interestingly, this individual soul, this Jivatma is called as Ishvara. So here Ishvara doesn't mean Lord. What is Ishvara? Jivatma. So Bhagavan himself says this Jivatma is Paramatma only. So Yada, when Utkramati, leaving the body is called Utkram. So Yada Ishvara Utkramati, when this individual at the time of death, when he leaves the body, right, then what happens? Come to the third and fourth quarter of seventh verse. Manaha Shasthani Indriyani Prakritisthani Karshati. So at that time of death, when this Jivatma leaves the body, Utkramati, so what does he do at that time of death? So this Jivatma, Karshati, draws, takes along with it. What does he take along with it? Shashtani Indriyani. Manashashtani Indriyani. How many Jnanindriyas are there? 5. But along with mind, 6. Shashtani means 6. So 6 Indriyas along with the mind. So what are the Jnanindriyas by the way? Jnana means you are receiving knowledge from the world. So how do you receive knowledge from the world? Through eyes, color and form, right? Through skin, knowledge of touch. Through nose, knowledge of smell. Through tongue, knowledge of taste. Through ears, knowledge of sound. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. So Panchindriyas. So these Panchindriyas plus Manashashtani, 6th as the mind. Mind as the 6th. So this, what does it do? Draws, Karshati. When? At the time of death. From where? Prakriti Sthani. So here Prakriti has a special meaning. Here Prakriti means body. Sanskrit is a very strange language. You don't know which word has what meaning. So here, in this context, Prakriti means what? Physical body. Prakriti Sthani. So these Indriyas which are located, situated in the physical body. Which one? The 5 Jnanindriyas and the mind. Karshati. It draws, it takes. When? Yada Utkramati. When it is leaving the body at the time of death. Then what it does? Grihitva etani sanyati. Verse number 8, third quarter. So from 8 you come to 7. From 7 again you come back to 8. Grihitva etani sanyati. Taking these, it leaves. Okay? Yes. How? An example is given. Vayu gandhan iva ashayat. 8th verse, 4th quarter. An example is given. How this Jivatma at the time of death, while leaving the present body, while taking these 5 Jnanindriyas along with the mind, when it leaves, how does it leave? So an example is given, just like Vayu gandhan iva ashayat. Ashaya means source of fragrance. Let us say flower. A flower which is the source of it. This is called as ashayam. So from this ashayam, what comes out? Gandha comes, fragrance comes. So Vayu, just like the wind carries the fragrance from the flower. So what is flower here? The body. What is wind here? The Jivatma. What is the fragrance here? The Pancha Jnanendriyas and the mind. Okay. So So when the wind carries that fragrance from the flower, are you seeing the wind? No. Are you seeing the fragrance? No. What are you seeing? You are seeing only flower. In the same way, when a person falls dead, what do you see? Only the body. You are not seeing that Jivatma leaving the body. You are also not seeing the Sukshma Sharira which the Jiva is taking along with it. Vayuhu Gandha Iva Ashayat. Okay. Now, after leaving this body, what does it do? Shariram Yad Avapnoti. Verse number 8, first part. What does it do? Shariram. It takes up a new body. So here Sharira means the next body, not the earlier body. Earlier body is dead. So this Jivatma leaves the first body, takes along with it what? Panchajnanendriyas and the mind, leaves that previous body, and then Shariram Avapnoti. It enters into the new body. And then what does it do? After entering into the new body, verse number 9. Shrodram, Chakshuhu, Sparshanam, Rasanam, Granam. These are Panchajnanendriyas. Then Manaha, the mind. What does it do? Adhisthaya, placing it in the new body. Vishayan Upasevate. It continues to enjoy the sense objects in the new body. Clear? Clear. This is called death, and this is called rebirth. Right? So once again, so at the time of death, what happens? The Jivatma, he doesn't die. The point is this: Jiva Bhuta Sanatana, he is eternal. How can he be eternal? He is eternal because at the time of death, he is not dying. How he is not dying? The old body is dropped. He takes the Panchajnanendriyas and the mind, leaves the old body, goes and takes up the new body, and continues his journey of life in the new body. So therefore, the Jivatma is Sanatana. This is the point. Now here there are so many topics which we have to discuss. So here, Bhagavan has simplified the whole thing. Bhagavan has said only Panchajnanendriyas and the mind. But if you study Tattva Bodha, you know what happens at the time of death. It is the Sukshma Sharira which is carried. So what is Sukshma Sharira? Panchajnanendriyas, Panchakarmendriyas, Panchapranas, Mana, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankara. How many elements? 19. Panchajnanendriya, Panchakarmendriya, Panchaprana, total 15. Manas, mind, Buddhi, intellect, Chitta, memory, and Ahankara, the ego. So these are the 19 factors which take. But here Bhagavan has simplified it. Now here, a question may come. So at the time of death, it takes the indriyas, but at the dead body we can see the eyes and the ears, etc. So we have to clearly understand there is a difference between indriya and golaka. This has to be understood. The physical fleshy part of the body is called golaka, which is not indriya. So chakshurindriya means what? Not this physical eye. This physical eye is called golaka. Then what is chakshurindriya? It is the ability to see. What is indriya? Ability to operate that particular organ. That ability to operate is what is called as indriya. So karmendriya means what? Not the physical eye. The ability to operate the hand, the legs, etc. That ability is called indriya. So, a blind man, what is missing in him? Golaka or indriya? A blind man, what is missing? What is missing is not indriya, what is missing is golaka. The physical, it is damaged. That is why you can, give somebody sight to someone. Because indriya is there, the ability to operate is there, the physical eye is missing. So if you can take a normal, perfect functioning eye and put it there, you can see. Clear? In a dead man, what is missing? Indriya or Golaka? In the dead man, say eyes are open, he is dead. Golaka is there, but what is missing? Indriya is missing. Now is it clear? So Indriya and Golaka. These are all fundamental things you must understand. Otherwise no unnecessary doubts will be there. So at the time of death, what is this person taking? He is taking the Indriya, he is leaving back the Golaka. And in the next new body, Golaka is there. So what does he do? Adhishthaya means what? Fixing the Indriya into the Golaka. This is all what happens at the time of death. So it is like shifting your home. As simple as that. When you are transferred, suppose you have a central government job. After every 2 to 3 years, you have to transfer. So what do you do when you get transferred? So all the things are there in the bathroom, you put it as a bundle. Kitchen items, another bundle. So different bundles. Then you put it on a truck, whatever. Then go to the new house. And once you occupy the new house, what do you do? The kitchen items, where will they go? To the kitchen. Isn't it? So respective things will go to respective places. That is called as Adhishthaya. Okay? Then what do? You start living your life there. So this is called as death. So actually speaking, there is no death. It is only a change of physical body. So Jivatma doesn't die. Right? So at the time of death, that person has a lot of desires. So with a particular desire, that person dies. So what will be the next birth? The next birth will be in order to fulfill the unfulfilled desires. So the journey is continuing. This is what Bhagavad is saying. Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam. That is that science behind this birth, that philosophy that has been explained. Now, there is another point to be discussed here. At the time of death, what leaves the body? Consciousness leaves the body, or the subtle body leaves the body? Now, these are all the basic doubts. What leaves the body? Sukshma Sharira leaves the body, or consciousness leaves the body? Remember, we are not using consciousness as a medical term. We are calling consciousness as absolute truth, the Supreme Self. So now, here we have to understand one thing. So first we understand one example. So there is a dark room and the sun is brilliantly shining. But the room is dark because there is roof and the windows are closed. Now, if you want to bring this sunlight into this room, what you have to use? You will have to use a mirror, and let us say the door is open. So, through the door, you reflect that sunlight and send that reflected light into the room. Now the room is well lit. Yes or no? So, sunlight cannot directly illumine the room. Sunlight will have to be reflected by the mirror, and the reflected light is the one which goes into the dark room and illumines it. In the same way, consciousness cannot directly illumine the body. What is consciousness? It is of the nature of sentiency. It enlivens the inert elements. That is a property of consciousness. It enlivens. Just like electricity enlivens the dead, fans and bulbs, etc. In the same way, consciousness enlivens the inert matter. But consciousness cannot directly enliven the body. To enliven the body, it has to enliven the mind. The mind-intellect equipment which we call as Sukshma Sharira. Sukshma Sharira can enliven the Sthula Sharira, the physical gross body. But consciousness directly cannot do it. Are you able to follow? So here mirror represents subtle body, dark room represents gross body, and the sun represents consciousness. Are you able to follow? Consciousness cannot directly enliven the body. Consciousness can only enliven the mind. The mind only can enliven the body. The mind intellect equipment, which we call Sukshma Sharira. So at the time of death, what happens? The Sukshma Sharira leaves the gross body. So then what happens to the body? It is dead. Exactly like the moment you remove this mirror, the room becomes dark. Sunlight is everywhere. But because the mirror is not available, the room has become dark. In the same way, consciousness is all pervading. You cannot say consciousness is not there in the dead body. It is there. But consciousness is not able to enliven the body. Are you able to understand? Consciousness is there, but it is not able to express as life. For that, what equipment is needed? The subtle body is needed, Sukshma Sharira is needed. And this Sukshma Sharira is the one which leaves the body. And therefore the body dies. What happens to Jivatma? Jivatma is with the Sukshma Sharira. Remember, whenever we use Sukshma Sharira, Karana Sharira is included. Just to simplify the whole thing, we are not mentioning Karana Sharira, the causal body. So causal body and the subtle body together. So where is Jivatma now? He is not with the gross body, he is with the subtle causal body. It is this Jivatma who is traveling. Now the question is, at the time of death, will this Jivatma, the individual soul, experience non-existence? At the time of death, will this Jivatma experience non-existence, experience death? No. Exactly like when you enter into dream, do you experience death? It is just dropping the identification with the gross body. Dropping the identification is not experiencing non-existence. So therefore, really speaking, the person who dies, he is not experiencing death. It is only our mental imagination that this person is dead. As far as that person is concerned, he has just gone from one state to another. Because he is continuously experiencing his subtle body. Subtle body is active. Isn't it? So he is experiencing a particular state of mind, particular desires, maybe in a very latent form, unmanifest form. So he is not experiencing non-existence. It is only the imagination of the person who is seeing this person dead. He is imagining. He is gone. He is no more there. Dead. They are all your imagination. Ask that person who has left the body. He said, what? I am still there. You understand? So really speaking, experience of death is impossible. Experience of death is what? Experience of non-existence. Nobody can experience non-existence. Right? Death is an illusion. So the Lord is shining in our heart as consciousness, as awareness. That awareness continues, experience of awareness continues. Even when the body is dropped dead, this experience of awareness continues. So therefore, who is this Jivatma? He is, what is the nature of Jivatma? He is Sanatana, eternal. Eternal. Now, Bhagavan makes an interesting statement here. See verse number 10. Utkramantam sthitam vapi bhunjanam va gunanvitam vimudhananupashyanti पश्यन्ति ज्ञानचक्षुषः उत्क्रामन्तं स्थितं वापि भुञ्जानं वा गुणान्वितं विमूढानानुपश्यन्ति पश्यन्ति ज्ञानचक्षुषः. Yes. Now a comparison is done between the wise and the otherwise, between the wise people and the ignorant people. What is the difference? Jnana chakshushaha pasyanti. The one who has the eye of wisdom, he clearly sees. What does he see? God. He clearly experiences God. What about the others? Vimudhaha na anupashyanti. The foolish people, the ignorant ones, they don't experience. This is the difference. Who is the wise one? The wise one is the one who is constantly experiencing God. When is he experiencing God? So some examples are given. Utkramantam, sthitam, bhunjanam, gunanvitam. So first one is sthitam. The wise people, when they are living in this world, is experiencing God as what? Sthitam, existent. How is he recognizing God? He's not seeing some form sitting there, standing in front of him. Tathas, blessing. No. You see the subtle experience of divine. Sthitam. Are you existing? Yes or no? You have any doubt? That existence which you are directly experiencing is none other than existence of God. Even the greatest atheist cannot deny his existence. You see the definition of God. Definition of God is not Shankha Chakra Gada Padma. This is the absolute definition of God. Existence in you. Sthitam. So at the seat of meditation, how to meditate upon God? Pay attention to that existence. I am existing. That existence, it is not actually my existence, it is his existence which I have misunderstood as my existence. This is Advaita. Advaita means what? No two. No two means what? Only one. Only one means what? Only God. What exists is only God. I have misunderstood God's existence as my existence. Exactly like the waker in the dream state dreams that he is the dreamer. But actually what exists? It is only the waker who is existing. Waker's existence has been misunderstood as dreamer's existence. Sthitam. So who is seeing this? Jnana Chakshusha, remember. The one who has studied the Shastras, the one who has done Shravanam Mananam, one who has recognized what the nature of God is, he is seeing this. What about others who have not studied? Na Pashyanti. They are also existing. Existence is there, but they don't know what this existence is. Sthitam. Then Bhunjanam. Bhunjanam, when the sense organs are enjoying the sense pleasures, interacting with the sense objects, there is somebody who is experiencing it, isn't it? The experiencer of sense pleasure. Who is the experiencer? He is none other than God alone. Why? Because the only sentient entity in the whole world is consciousness, and that consciousness is God himself. So even while he is experiencing something, there is an observer who is observing this experiencer. His observer is none other than God alone. Punjanam. So when we are reading all this, we have to relate it to our experience. So everything can be meditation. You are drinking tea, so that can be a tea meditation, provided Your attention is not upon the joy of tea, your attention upon the observer who is observing this experience. Just be aware, be conscious. So when your attention is upon this consciousness, you are the God, is a mind. In Zen meditation, you will find all this kind of thing. They don't do something different. Whatever you are doing, just pay attention. Pay attention. Be in the present. They call it mindfulness. Just be aware. Be aware. Be aware. Knowing that this awareness is none other than the Lord, the only reality. Punjanam. Gunanvidam. Associated with gunas. What are the gunas? Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. So these are the mind level. At the physical level, Sthitam. At the sense organ level, Punjanam. At the mind level, Gunanvidam. So your mind also, various kinds of moods are there. Sometimes the mind is in a very dull mood. Observe that dullness. Right? Sometimes the mind is restless, rajasic, extroverted, agitated. Observe that agitation. Pay attention to the observer of agitated mind. So mind is agitated, shift your attention from the agitated mind to the observer of agitation. This is meditation. Sometimes the mind is absolutely peaceful, quiet, meditative. Don't get identified with that beautiful mind. Observe that mind also. This is called becoming gunatita. That wonderful mind also, let it not trap you. Because the tendency to get identified with that joyful mind and experience joy. Don't do it. Observe that also. Observe the different states of mind. You are not the mind, you are the observer of the mind. So now this person has done all the studies. See, when Shravanam, Mananam, etc. has been done, this is how that person lives. So every moment he is experiencing God. As what? As the observer of the change. Samsara Vriksha is there, the one who is observing that change. Constantly BMI is changing, body, mind, intellect, constantly it is changing. The world around is constantly changing. So where should be our attention? Our attention should be at that observer who is observing the change. That observer is constant. That observer is imperishable. Nothing happens to that observer. So jnana chakshusha. What does he see? His attention is there. You know, it is something like when the bulb is glowing, jnana chakshu. Who is the one? The one who has studied electricity. What does he see there? He sees the presence of electricity, isn't it? His fleshy eye sees only the glowing bulb, but his jnana chakshu, the eye of wisdom, what does it see? It sees electricity. The physical eye doesn't see electricity, but his wisdom eye sees electricity. Physical eye is seeing something, the wisdom eye is seeing something else. But the one who has never studied electricity, what will he see? Nayanam Pashyati, Mudhanana Pashyati. He will not see anything, he will see only the light. Why he will not see electricity? Because he doesn't know electricity. So this is called as eye of wisdom. Eye of wisdom doesn't show you anything, but whatever is seen, the eye of wisdom gives you that knowledge. So when this physical body is moving, now see this body is made of 5 elements. What is the nature of 5 elements? It is inert. Inert thing, can it move? It cannot move. It has no life. Suppose a chair is jumping, suddenly you know what has happened. The chair cannot jump, it is inert. So in the same way, this body which is made of 5 elements, it is able to talk, it is able to feel, it is able to live. Isn't it a great wonder? This is what Odiya Baba did. One British officer came to him and said, Swamiji, show a miracle. So he said, see, this body is walking, talking, laughing. Can't you see any miracle in this? This body which is made of inert elements, it is able to live. This itself is the greatest miracle. So this is called Jnana Chakshusha Pashyati. Inert thing, how is it alive in the first place? Sentiency is not its nature. Jnana Chakshusha Pashyati. So constantly you can meditate upon God. In every experience you can meditate upon God, provided you know who God is. This is called as Nirguna Dhyanam. There is no guna. You are meditating on consciousness. You don't use any attribute, any support, any alambanam for meditation. You don't use any form. But it needs tremendous preparation for the mind. Otherwise it is very boring, it is difficult also. This is not the first step. So if this is difficult, use some form, some alambana. Saguna, Sakara, Upasana when we are not able to do this. But if you can do this, you don't need anything else because it is the highest. Jnana Chakshusha Pashyati. Vimudhaha Nana Pashyati. So God is there in every one of us in equal measure. But the ignorant ones don't see, the wise ones see. Bhagavan, why is that the wise ones see and the ignorant ones they are not able to see? Can you please explain the reason? Yes, this is the reason. Verse number 11. Yatanto yoginaschainam Pasyantyatmanyavasthitam Yatantopyakritatmanah Nainam pasyantyachetasah Yatanto yoginaschainam Pasyantyatmanyavasthitam Yatantopyakritatmanah Nainam pasyantyachetasah. So yoginah, the ones who are qualified, yatantah, striving, putting forth right effort, pashyanti, they see. They see this ultimate reality, the truth, God, where Atmani, in one's own self, avasthitam. They see God in their own self. So they know that this I in me, I am, this experience, this I is none other than Bhagavan. They clearly see it. But Akritatmanah, Achetasah, Yatantah api naenam pasyant. But those people who have this characteristics, they will not see. Yatantah api, they may strive, but they will not see it. So who are they? Akritatmanah. Akritatmanah means asamskritatmanah. Those who have not purified their mind. Those people who are filled with all negativities of mind, selfishness, greed, lust, anger. Those people whose minds are impure, they will not be able to see this. So see, the qualification is purity of mind. It's very important in spirituality. The values of life. We have to be a good person. Practicing values, only then this experience can come. There are no shortcut methods. Our life has to be full of purity. Akritatmanah. So those who are humble, loving, so yesterday we had discussed love, compassion, humility, straightforwardness, selflessness, all these things when we practice, the mind becomes pure. Such a pure mind becomes fit to experience the presence of the Lord in the heart. That's why the example is given. Light is everywhere, but in a piece of rock you don't see the sun. In a piece of mirror you see the sun. Can you blame the sun? Oh sun, you are partial. In the mirror you are there. In that stone you are not there. You can't blame the sun. Sun is impartial. He is there everywhere. Isn't it? In the same way, God is residing in the hearts of all. But rare few experience, majority don't experience. Why? The majority have their heart like that stone. Very rare few, they have made their mind pure. Samskritatmana. They have cultured their mind. Samskrita means what? Culture. That's how the name Samskrita. Samskrita means a cultured language is called Samskrita. Samskrita, krita, you have to consciously work for it. Culture doesn't come just like that. When somebody shouts at you, you shout back. That is natural, that is not cultural. Gurudev says. Anger, greed, jealousy, these are natural, they are not cultural. Samskrita means what? You consciously put forth effort and win over these negativities. That is called a Samskrita. Samskritatmana pashyati. Right. So number one, purity of mind. See the next one. Achetasaha na enam pashyati. Those unintelligent ones. Those who don't have the right knowledge of how to seek God. Why they don't have right knowledge? Because they don't approach the right source of knowledge. What is the right source of knowledge? The Vedas, the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, the scriptures. When you approach the right source with a lot of faith, because the scientists, I have told you, they don't have faith in the Vedas. They try to find out the truth by themselves. So they are called as Achetasa. They try to find out the truth without taking refuge in the scriptures, in the Guru Parampara. They try to find the truth. Then what happens? They become Achetasa. Where do they find the truth? They try to find in the outer world. So we have discussed this. What is the mistake they do? The mistake they do is they get caught up in the observed world. They ignore the observer. This is the mistake. Achetasa. So, using the right means of knowledge, developing the right qualities of the heart. When you strive, yatantaha, such a person is called a yogina. So, yatantaha yogina pashyanti, he sees. Where does he see? He doesn't see God as an object, outward, different from him. No. He sees God as his own self. So, seeing God is nothing but being God. Seeing is not seeing God as an object. Seeing God is experiencing God as the very subject. So I am this. This experience. Aham Brahma Asmi. This way. So what is to be done? Mind has to be purified. What is to be done? You have to have faith in the source of knowledge, the Vedas. With the right guidance, with the right effort, with the right attitude, when you approach, definitely you will see, no doubt about it. Right, so this topic is over here. So what is the topic here? The topic is, this Jivatma is also none other than me, myself, the I. The Atma in this Jivatma, it is me, myself. That Atma is also Satchidananda Atma. So this Jivatma is not different from me. So Jiva Vichara is over. So this is called a Jivatma Paramatma Aikyam. There is no difference at all. Now the question is about Jagat. What about this world? So Jagat Vichara is taken up. Let us chant verse number 12 and 13. यदादित्यगतं तेजः जगद्भासयतेऽखिलम् यच्चन्द्रमसि यच्चाग्नौ तत्तेजो विद्धि मामकम् गामाविश्य च भूतानि धारयाम्यहमोजसा पुष्णामि चौषधीः सर्वाः सोमो भूत्वा रसात्मकः यदा विद्यगतं तेजः जगद्भासयतेऽखिलम् यच्चन्द्रमसि यच्चाग्नौ गामाविश्य च भूतानि Yet Adityagatam Tejaha, that heat, light, power that you see in the sun. Aditya means sun. Because of which Jagat Bhasayate Akhilam Jagat Bhasayate, the whole world is illuminating. Can you see that power, that light, that heat which illumines the whole world? Yes. Yet Chandramasi, in the Chandrama also, can you see that light? That moonlight? Yes. Yet Agno, in the fire, can you see that heat and light? That power? Yes. Tat Tejaha Mamakam Vidhi. Understand all these powers that you see in this world, like sun, moon, fire, etc. No, they are only samples. Although say only these powers belong to God. Don't say that. These are some samples. Tat Tejaha Mamakam Vidhi. Know that all these powers belong to me. Bhagavan is saying. Gamavishya cha bhutani. Gam avishya, entering into this earth. Bhutani dharayami. I support all beings with my ojas, with my energy. Pushnami chaushadhi sarvaha somo bhutva rasatmakaha. This moon is called rasatmakaha somaha. Somaha means moon. What is it? Rasatmakaha, full of rasam, juice. Means what? It is said that it is this moonlight, they say, it is this moonlight which nourishes the plants and fills them with nutrition, sap. So here Bhagavan says, that's why moon is called Rasatmakaha Soma. All these farmers, they do this, they seed and all, they expose it to moonlight before sowing. Those who are from farming background, they know. Before sowing, they expose it to moonlight. So here Bhagavan says, that moonlight which fills this plant kingdom with the ability to nourish others through its nutrition, that nutrition comes from me. Pushnani chaushadhi sarvaha. I nourish all these aushadhis, all these plants. That ability to nourish all beings, that ability comes from me. So what is the point? The point is this. The living beings are living because I have designed the whole cosmos in such a way that life can be sustained. Dharayami, Bhutani Dharayami, I support them. I keep them alive. So how many factors are necessary to keep us alive on this planet? How many factors? Infinite factors. The right distance between sun and moon, sun and earth, the speed of rotation, the gravitation, the presence of various gases, oxygen, etc. How many factors? Infinite number of factors. Bhagavan says, I am the one who is taking care of all these factors, because of which Bhutani Dharayami, because of which all these beings are existing alive on this planet. So whatever you see in this world, if there is some glory, some splendor, some greatness, it doesn't belong to that, it belongs to me. So when you see huge Himalayas, the mind becomes silent. My God. So what should happen if you are a seeker? Immediately mind should think of God. God's glory is seen in this. When you see a majestic sun rising, its heat, its light, just imagine 15 crore kilometers away, it is able to nourish this earth. So that's power. So what? Your mind, what you should think of? Not helium and hydrogen, like these stupid scientists. You should think of God. My God. Bhagavan, Surya Narayana, in prostration. You see? When you see this majestic ocean, as a devotee, what should you see? The majesty of God. So everything in a flower, a beautiful flower, you should see the beauty of God. You have to transform your vision. So there are various ways of meditating on God. The Ponji Maharaj used to go to Samadhi only. When he sees some birds or some clouds floating around, he used to go to Samadhi. That is the greatness of Mahatmas like Ramakrishna Paramahansa, Swami Shivanji Maharaj, my God. Even when he sees a donkey, he used to prostrate. He was a donkey also, what is he seeing? Bhagavan himself. Right. Sunichchaiva Swabhakecha Panditaha Samanasya. The ability to see God in everything. Such a person is the most blessed one. He has trained the mind perfectly. The ability to see God even in sinners. That is the nature of saintly ones. Their mind sees only God, only God. So here Bhagavan says, this Jagat also is my expression alone. Jiva is also my expression. Jagat also is my expression. Now Bhagavan says, not only the outer world, in your own body you can see me functioning. Turn your attention to your own body. There also I am there. Let us stand verse number 14 and 15. Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Praninam Dehamashritah Pranapana Samayuktah Pachamyannam Chaturvidham Sarvasya Chaham Hridi Sannivishtaha Mattasmritir Jnanam Apohanam Cha Vedaischa Sarvairahameva Vedyaha Vedanta Krit Veda Videva Chaham Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva points we will discuss tomorrow. So tomorrow is the last day. So some few announcements. I hope you have been given this cover. So write your name, your address. So whatever donation you give, it will be used to spread this message of the Vedas. This is the mission of Jnana Mission. So all your donations will be used to spread this knowledge of the scriptures. So write your address, name, etc. So at the back, some details are given. Which one you would like to join, study group, Devi group, Bhagavad, etc. Take it. And other volunteers will contact you. We have so many classes. For children, we have Bhagavad. For elders, we have study group. How many of you are attending this yajna for the first time? Jnana Mission program. Oh, okay. So we have so many levels for elders, for ladies, for children. So whichever class you would like to attend, just take mark. Right. What else? Tomorrow we have a, do you need it? Question answer session. Don't worry, I will not be the one asking questions to you. It is not a test. You will ask questions, okay? Very many people are scared. My God, will they ask question to me? No. So if you have any doubts, questions, etc., you are free to ask. I will try my best to answer. So it's an informal question answer session. This is from 11 to 12 in the morning, not in the night. Morning. Okay? 11 to 12. Let us see how the discussion goes. How many of you are planning to come? Okay. Very many don't have questions. They want to see what others are asking. Right. That is also a good way. Because people think in so many creative ways. So when you hear the question, this is also a person can think. You wonder. So this is one. So tomorrow at 11 to 12 we have a question answer session. Another announcement is in November, so I am from Jnana Mission Mangalore. So we are conducting one camp on the banks of Narmada. It is for some 6 days. So where the topic will be meditation. Right? Some meditation techniques, some guided meditation, etc. So the camps of 5-6 days, each day having so many sessions. So those who are interested, you can contact me after the talk. This is in November. Okay. The next information is tomorrow. See, actually this 1 week program we have organized because it is as a part of Guru Purnima celebration. So tomorrow is the last day. So tomorrow we will be doing Archana of Veda Vyasa Rishi. So that is from 6:30 to say maximum 7. So we express our gratitude and thus we conclude this yajna with this. So 7 to 8 will be the talk, 6:30 to 7. We will have a small puja, Archana of Veda Vyasa Rishi. Right. Any other announcement? So in the beginning of this, we have released one book, Indispensable Values. So that book is full of stories, value-based stories. So these values are from Bhagavad Gita. So this book is beneficial for everyone, whether it is children, youngsters or elders. So I request all of you to get this book and pass it on to the next generation, our children and grandchildren. Asamskritatmanaha, remember this. How to pass on the values. So such wonderful books must be. It's a must read book if you want to instill values in the hearts of children. Right. So now we conclude with any other?
6 to 6:30 there.
Okay. Who is singing? Oh, 6 to 6:30. Bala Sevikas will sing Guru Stotram. So be at 6 o'clock. Those who can. Right. सीताराम कहो राधे श्याम कहो सीताराम कहो राधे श्याम कहो सीताराम बिना कोई प्यारा नहीं राधे श्याम बिना कोई अपना नहीं सीताराम कहो राधे श्याम कहो सीताराम कहो राधे श्याम कहो सीताराम बिना सुख कौन करे राधे श्याम बिना दुख कौन हरे सीताराम कहो राधे श्याम कहो सीताराम कहो राधे श्याम कहो सीताराम बिना बेड़ा पार नहीं राधे श्याम बिना उद्धार नहीं सीताराम कहो राधे श्याम कहो सीताराम कहो राधे श्याम कहो सीताराम